Hey y'all, good morning. Thank you for tapping in for some real talk from the heart this morning. This morning's real talk is from Proverbs 5 verses 1 and 2. Proverbs 5 verses 1 and 2. And I want to talk to you this morning about paying attention and why we should pay attention. So Proverbs 5, 1 and 2 says, "My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Lend your ear to my understanding, that you may preserve discretion and your lips may keep knowledge." So as we look at this question this morning about why we should pay attention, I want to start by just saying this, man. When I'm reading through the Proverbs, and of course you have Solomon writing to his son, who will again take the throne after him. And so it's a father giving advice to a son. But when I read them personally, I like to personalize them in the aspect of my heavenly Father speaking to me, his son. And so as we get into this morning about why should we pay attention, I think we should maybe back up a little bit and answer two questions, right? Who should we be paying attention to, and what we should be paying attention to? So the who, of course, is the Father. Man, we should be paying attention to the Lord. That's who we should be paying attention to. Now, what we should be paying attention to, it says right here, he says, my wisdom and my understanding, right? Those are two things that we should be paying attention to, that we should be giving focus to. And that's his wisdom and his understanding. Now let's get to the because, okay? Let's get to the why, because he says right here, pay attention to my wisdom, lend your ears to my understanding. And he says that. Okay, so as we get into this, I want you to see this too. When he says here, lend your ears to my understanding, if you have a study Bible, you'll see that in the margin, it says, bow your ear, right? Bow your ear. I like that rendering because of this. Bowing means to humble, right? It means to be humble. And so we see who we should be paying attention to, why we're going to look at why we should be paying attention to him, but what we should be paying attention to, pardon me. But now here you have how we should be paying attention. We should be paying attention with humble hearts, right? We listen humbly. That's why he says, bow your ear, right? Lend your ear to my understanding. Now let's get to the why. The why, it tells us right here in the beginning, my son. Right? Because our identity means that we are in a relationship. Our identity means we're in a relationship. Paying attention is part of a relationship. I mean, if you're in a relationship with somebody that ain't paying attention to you, that's not good, right? That's horrible communication, and that's, that leads to, just unsatisfaction, leads to misery. To be in a relationship where you're not being paid attention to. And so first and foremost, we should be paying attention because we are in a relationship, man. We are in a relationship with the Father, and that's part of the deal. The second thing is we should be paying attention, as he says here, that you may preserve discretion. Preserve discretion means to guard the ability to think. That's what that phrase means, preserve discretion, to guard your thoughts. And so we need to be paying attention, because here's how this works. The Father says, if you don't pay attention, you won't preserve discretion. In other words, if you will not pay attention, you will not be able to guard your thoughts. It's in the act of paying attention that we guard our thoughts, man. And we bring all of our thoughts into subjection to the obedience of Christ, right? That's what the Bible tells us in 2 Corinthians. So focus your life, right, on the Father. Why? So you can guard your thoughts. Focus your life, man, on the Lord. Focus your life on his word so that you can guard your thoughts, man. Because I tell you what, man, thoughts, when we stick to those thoughts eventually become action. And those actions, right, if we stick to those actions, they eventually become habits. And those habits, right, if we stick to those habits, they eventually develop our character. And of course, you guys know, right, that you stick to that character and it's going to lead to your destiny. It's going to lead to where you, right, end up. And so I want you guys to see here that it all begins with paying attention. man. And this is why we should pay attention, because we're in a relationship, because it's through paying attention that we guard our thoughts, right? We preserve discretion. But then here's the last reason why. It's right here. He says, and your lips may keep knowledge. And so because, listen, if we pay attention, right, if we're paying attention to his word, right, to his wisdom, to his understanding, that is the prerequisite to keeping his word and speaking his word, right? If I'm not paying attention, I won't keep his knowledge and wisdom. If I'm not paying attention, I won't keep his knowledge and wisdom, and I won't be speaking his word. That's what he says there. And your lips may keep knowledge, right? I'm not going to be keeping his knowledge if I'm not paying attention. And so as we look at this morning, why? Man, why pay attention? Why is it important to pay attention? Why should we be paying attention to the Father and to his word? It's because it's a relationship. It's how we guard our thoughts. Listen, it's how we learn his word, and it's how we share his word. And you can't share what you don't got, right? You're not going to be able to keep what you don't have to begin with. And so it all begins with paying attention, or as I like to use the phrase, focusing your life. Focus in your life so that you can focus your thoughts, because the rest of your life, man, is going to follow from that. The Lord loves you. I love you too. Praying for you. Please be praying for me as well, man. Hope you have a great Tuesday. Remember, stay living at the feet of the Lord, man. That's where we belong. All right, God bless y'all. Talk to you tomorrow.